Sports Talk Chicago. Here for Jon Zaghloul. Appreciate everybody tuning in to today's rant. The Bears fall to the Chargers 30-13. We're going to break everything down for you right here on today's program. John Meadows is directing and producing. We are live all over the place. YouTube, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Check out our affiliates across the top of your screen. ACTV in Aurora, Cities 92.9 Talk FM in Bloomington Normal, AM 1230 WJOB, and Jet TV. Make sure you follow us all over as well at Sports Talk Chicago and personally at John Z Sports. What can we say about this performance for the Bears? Many things. I think we should start with saying that this game was a complete dumpster fire. I really thought it would have been better. I really thought it was going to be closer than what we saw. I really thought it was going to be a little bit more competitive. And maybe, just maybe, I'm naive. Maybe I'm part of the problem, right? Because I thought after last week, after the encouraging things that we saw from this team overall, that it would carry into this game. I didn't say they were going to win. I didn't expect them to win. But I expected competition. I didn't expect waving a white flag. They waved the white flag tonight. They showed it in their body language, they showed it in their demeanor, and they showed it with their overall play. I mean, just now ending the game with 20 seconds left could be an opportunity to teach, could be an opportunity to run plays. No, they knee it and go home. End of the half, in the first half, they knee it and they go home. Those are small things, but it just shows off the demeanor and the energy that this team has right now. They've already waved the white flag on the season. They've already waved it on the season. They have given up on this team. Everybody, players, personnel, coaching, executives. They have given up on this season. Kevin Warren was on national TV tonight with the camera on him, rolling his eyes and sighing. Okay? That's a big statement from him. Maybe he doesn't know he got caught on TV, but he did. He's even fed up with this crap. And he knows that this has to end. And everybody was at fault for this game. Don't worry. Tyson Bagent didn't play great, but what do you expect? He's a backup at best. He had no touchdowns. He had 2 picks. Threw for 200 yards almost, 20 of 30. The completion percentage was high again, which I like. I didn't mind the game plan they had for him, actually. And one of the picks popped right out of Mooney's hands. But the Bears offensively got nothing going. Deontay Foreman did okay. Same with Roschon. DJ Moore and Cole Kmet had a decent game. Darnell Mooney had that big catch early on. That was about it. The real problem was the Bears' defense. How does Justin Herbert throw no picks? How does Justin Herbert throw no picks? Justin Herbert is interception prone. Even the national media has been roasting him about it. And the Bears do nothing. They don't sack him once. He throws no interceptions. The Bears' defense was the big reason why they lost this one. And for reference, the Chargers' defense was 29th in football entering today's game. They only gave up 13 points. The Bears did nothing. All around, it was horrible. All around, it was bad. Austin Eckler, the running back, at 100 receiving yards. On third down, the Chargers never stopped converting. 7 of 13. Continually found ways on third down to keep drives alive and to keep things moving forward. Man, what is wrong with this team? I want to make something clear, too. This is going to get me pumped. I'm not going to sit here and crap on Bagent. I'm not going to sit here and say it's his fault and now he has to go and see, I told you so. No, we're not going to go there, and here's why. I mentioned this last week, even 2 weeks ago. I'm going to mention it again, okay? You cannot compare an undrafted D2 quarterback, somebody who probably shouldn't even be on an NFL team, to Justin Fields. You can't. You know why? Because Justin Fields is a first-round pick, and he should be doing better than how he's doing now. And I'll tell you what, if Fields played tonight, the result would be the same. You think Fields would take over this game and do something big? No, he wouldn't. And that, to me, is enough to show that neither of them are the guys. And nobody ever said Bagent was the guy. This team needs a brand new quarterback and a brand new coaching staff and a brand new system. Matt Eberflus needs to go. And it keeps coming up and coming up week after week. We see it. There were serious rumors about him getting fired before the Commanders game. For some reason, the Bears decided to play that night and won, and he stayed alive. Okay, Matt Eberflus is a huge problem here for many, many reasons. Many reasons. Ryan Poles should be in trouble. Won't happen, but he should be. You know why? This is the team he constructed. These are the players he spent money on. And let's not even get into Bayless Jones Jr. How about Bayless Jones? How about Javon Wims and Mitch Trubisky in 2020 in the NFL playoffs against the Saints? Same thing happened again. Now, I'm not saying that that play was made, the direction of the game would have changed, but I'll tell you what, Bayless Jones really has to hear this message. You have got to leave this team. Voluntarily take off your pads, give them to Eberflus and Poles and say, I quit, or something. Because for some reason, Ryan Poles is not getting rid of him. Okay? We have seen enough. Trust me, we have seen enough. I don't need anybody to further justify his existence on this team, nor in the NFL. You're 26 years old. Okay? You're 26 years old. How are you not making plays? How are you dropping footballs that are right to you? Even with him falling, the ball will actually hit him in the chest. That might be a small thing too, but he's continually been active. He's taken up roster spots that Deontay Foreman should have had throughout the season. When he gets his opportunity, he drops the football consistently. He muffed punts in the preseason, and now he's dropping footballs in the regular season as a wide receiver. If you can't return a kick, which is what you were drafted for, and you can't even catch a football as a wide receiver, why are you on this team? You know why? You want to know the real reason why? And I like Ryan Poles to an extent, but I'll tell you what, he's very wrong in this. He's keeping him around because he's scared that he, doesn't want to call him a bust or something. Ryan Poles is keeping Bayless Jones around because he doesn't want to admit, hey, I screwed up. It gets worse and worse the longer you put him on the field. It just gets worse. You put him on the field thinking he's going to improve, things are going to get better. Nope, it just gets worse. New lows, new saddening lows to a point where he needs to go. They need to get rid of him too. He is horrendous. And I could not be more disappointed in his performances since day one. Now up till this year. It's even worse. No progress. This was a team effort in this loss. This was a team way to lose. For those who are Justin Fields fanatics, idolizers, and who are going to go after and say, well, this proves that Bagent isn't the guy. Does this prove, though, that Justin Fields is? Answer is no. That's what I find funny. Justin Fields is on the sideline, right? He's just watching right now. So did this game prove that Justin Fields is the guy? No, it just proved that Bagent isn't, which we all knew that anyway. Nobody expected Tyson Bagent to come in and be the new starting quarterback forever for the Bears. I didn't say it, and nobody else said it, right? So the Bagent thing is overblown. It wasn't his fault. The Bears have a lot of work to do and a lot of things to talk about when the offseason comes. They have to discuss everything, and I think everything should be on the table. Games like this on primetime are just flat out embarrassing. No pun intended. Needs need to be assessed. Situations need to be taken care of. Bayless Jones needs to be cut. The Bears need a new quarterback considering their situation. Matt Eberflus needs to be fired. Ryan Poles needs to be in trouble. They're not going to fire him. They should, but they won't. He's going to be in trouble, though, and at least on probation, if you will, based on how he's done and this roster that he's constructed. Remember that, too. The Bears entered this offseason with all this cap space, this record amount of cap space. Remember all the articles that were written about this? Oh, look at all these cap space things for the Bears. Look at how much money they have spent. Look at how much money they have open. And this is the product you provide? This is the product you provide. You have all this money. Almost $100 million. And this is what you show and what you give Bears fans. That is horrible. That is horrible. He should be held responsible for that part of it too, not to mention the coaching with Eberflus and Getsy and just everything. It's a complete dumpster fire. They need everything new. It's actually very similar, in my opinion, to 2020 and 2021. They cut ties with Mitch, then a year later they cut ties with Pace and Nagy. And I really think they're in the situation where they need to cut ties with Poles and Eberflus and Getsy. And then on top of that, cut ties with Fields and Bajan, or both, or whatever you want to do. Okay? This team is not it. This situation is not it for anyone. It just gets worse and worse, doesn't it? Doesn't get better, doesn't improve, or I don't have a warm, fuzzy feeling after this one. Matt Eberflus will, but I won't. This team sucks. This team might be worse than last year, and I say that with all seriousness. At least last year we knew, okay, they're going to start to tank. They were losing games on purpose. We saw it. This year was supposed to be good. So the fact that they're playing like this is pretty damn scary. You spend money, you bring in people. It's a big prove-it year for Justin Fields. Nothing. I mean, I've seen nothing. Nothing to show me anything from this team, from this staff, from this personnel. Nothing. I've seen continued failure, continued losses, continued jokes of performances. And you know what? I'm getting pretty damn tired of it. Will it ever get better? Will it ever improve? Looking at Kevin Warren's facial expressions, looking at him rolling his eyes on national TV and sighing profoundly, that's all I needed to see to know. It's all I needed to see to say, yes, this is a problem. And this is not good. He knows it. And I'm happy to see that he did kind of publicly acknowledge it too. Because I was concerned that he didn't see it. But, I mean, he sees it. He knows. And maybe I should be more forgiving with him. I mean, he did kind of walk into this situation. He walked into these clowns leading this team. Maybe he could fix things up. But I'll tell you what right now, Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus are just not it. They are just not the people for this team. They're not. And I don't know where they're going to go from here. You know, we got to sit here and still deal with this. I mean, the season, we're only halfway through the season. Think about that for a minute. We're halfway through only. There's still 7-8 games to go. That's pretty scary, right? We have 8 more games to witness this sort of performance. And maybe they'll surprise us once in a while, like they did against the Raiders and against the Commanders. Okay, fine. But that is unacceptable. And this is unacceptable. I'm tired of the hype, too. And I want to say that. And that goes for everybody. What do we have to be hyped about with this team? Seriously. You know, we got all these people, social media, media organizations. Hey, you know, I'm standing with this guy. I'm standing with this guy. I want to do this. I want to do that. You know what? There ain't nothing to be positive about with this team. And there's nobody on this team who rightfully could say today, yes, I deserve to stay when this team gets better next year or the year after. This whole roster should be cut, theoretically speaking. I mean, I'm serious here. And including the coaching staff and the GM, there are very few people who are just completely blameless in terms of this situation. So I'm done with the sugarcoating and the BS when it comes to certain players and fawning over certain players. Some people are media darlings. Some people have deals with media people. We don't do that crap here. You know what? If you suck, you're going to hear it, okay? Jalen Johnson can't be asking for millions of dollars when he's blowing an 8-yard quick slant pass that goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Cole Kmet is getting paid millions of dollars to do nothing. Justin Fields may get millions of dollars in the future for having one of the worst records to ever start a career in NFL history. Okay? All of these things add up. Not to mention the fact that Ryan Poles constructed this team and Matt Eberflus is coaching this team. There is nobody on this team. There is nobody who deserves rightfully to stay. You can make cases for some people, but theoretically speaking, if the Bears decided to cut everybody and bring in 53 new people next year, who cares, right? I mean, it'd probably be the same outcome. They're horrible. And it's just difficult to continue to watch this. Something needs to change. I'm sick of seeing it. I know you are too. Fields or Bagent. I mean, we could go back and forth on fighting about certain things, but I think we can all agree on one thing. This is a beyond disappointment. Considering how much money was spent, how much hype was manufactured falsely by the media, we thought this was going to be good, right? We thought this was going to be something different, maybe 8-9, 9-8, 10-7, 7-10. We're going to see another tank-type year. And you know what? This team was not supposed to do that. I don't care if people try to justify and say they're doing it now, it's okay to tank. Not again. We waited a whole year for this. We watched them tank on purpose, and we saw games that looked very fishy, but we said, okay, it's fine. They're going to get the top pick. And here's what they do. I'm done hearing about patience, what's up the pipeline, how good things will be. You know what? They should be good now. Better, at least, with the money that was spent and the hype that was manufactured. And the answer is they're the same old Bears. And that's a problem. There is nobody on this team right now who really deserves to stay on top of that, too. Not to mention their bad performances. Don't fall for the media hype. Don't fall for the hype train of certain players or certain people or whatever the heck it might be. The fact is, it continues to get worse, and there is no hope for things getting quote-unquote better. This was supposed to be an initial rebuild when Ryan Pace was hired back in 2014. They made it 4 years. They won in 2018, then sucked again. They bring in Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus in 2021. Maybe I'm being a little bit too much, but I'll tell you what, okay? I know it takes time to rebuild a team. They shouldn't be this bad right now. They shouldn't be this bad. They shouldn't be this bad right now. Nope. You got a quote-unquote stunt QB in Justin Fields. Why are you losing this many games? You brought in DJ Moore. Why are you losing this many games? You spent a ton of money and had record high cap space. Why are you losing this many games? See, the more and more you discuss the situation surrounding this team in the offseason, the worse it looks for Ryan Poles and company and everybody involved. Right? It only looks worse. And that's what's happening right now. I don't expect anything out of this team for the rest of the year. I have no hope for them. I don't even pick them to win. You noticed that, right? I wanted to pick them to win tonight based on last week, but you know what? I didn't. And I chose wisely because you can never count on this team. They're always there to let you down, and they're going to make sure you know it, too. Anyways, that's all I got for tonight. Another sorry-ass performance and a sorry-ass excuse of a game. Should people be fired? Yes. Will they? No. Because that's Bears football in a nutshell. That's Bears football. It's just continued mediocrity, continued jokes, continued laughter. This team is some developmental AAA bullcrap NFL Europe football team. That's what they are. They're a CFL football team. They're an Arena Football League football team. They're not an NFL professional team. They suck. And every single week that they play, they show it. And to me, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching today's program, for our play-by-play commentary, and also for a rant here near the end, our wrap-up show. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Hang out with us. We appreciate all of your support. Follow us all over at Sports Talk Chicago. Hit up our great affiliates near the top of your screen. And a gigantic thank you to John Meadows directing and producing. to all of you for tuning in here on a work night, right? On school night, as they say. I appreciate you hanging out, and we will see you Wednesday night for a big announcement. Stay tuned for that. We will see you next Sunday as well for the game against New Orleans, which should be another barn burner. Wow, the Bears lost again, and, they're continuing to fail in epic proportions. Until next time, so long.